Rated mature audiences only. Viewer discretion is advised.
What was supposed to be a quiet reading time with drag queen Panda Dulce ended like this.
Did you guys call the cops?
It was stormed by 8 Proud Boys who disrupted the event.
The incident occurred Saturday, and witnesses who wanted to stay anonymous say the group that disrupted the event was acting aggressively and yelling offensive slurs against the LGBTQ plus community.
You know, they came in and they were screaming about, like, pedophilia and saying things like, we have to save the children. And I mean, they were terrifying the children.
The performer, Panda Dulce, didn't feel comfortable going on camera either. But in a statement, she says she immediately froze. And the first thoughts that came across her mind, is it an ambush? Are they armed? And the massacre in Uvalde, Texas. That's when she says she realized they were defenseless. Library staff say the men wouldn't leave and their rhetoric was escalating, so they called the sheriff's office immediately.
We removed the performer from the room to the back, and then we invited the parents and children to exit the room as well.
But even after going through all of that, both the performer and the staff felt very strong about continuing with their reading event, so they ended up covering up all of the open windows with anything they could find just to help the families feel more comfortable. The Alameda County Sheriff's Office says a hate crime investigation is now underway, as well as an investigation into the annoying and harassing of children. Deputies want to assure the community that as people celebrate Pride Month, deputies will be swift in their response to any threats toward this community. Both Panda Dulce and staff believe what happened here was a part of something bigger.
It may have been linked to things even beyond the city or nationally in response to the Drag Queen Story Hour movement.
The same night of the Drag Queen Story Hour event, a truck full of masked men believed to be part of a white nationalist group was arrested near an Idaho Pride in the Park event. They are charged with conspiring to riot.
I was deeply, deeply disturbed.
These incidents have pushed the community to come out and show their support with signs and messages of solidarity.
I wanted to show up today to show support to the library and let the community know we won't stand for that here.
The library says nothing is stopping them from celebrating Pride Month. But Panda Dulce says this incident and others are now pushing organizers to look at security measures, even at events like this meant for children and families. In San Lorenzo, Stephanie Magallon, NBC Bay Area News.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.
Sign up to The Economist for in-depth curated expert analysis of world events and topics ranging from business and culture to science and technology. You'll get the weekly digital edition, online-only articles, curated newsletters on politics, the markets, science, culture and China, and full access to The Economist Podcast Plus. The Economist is independent journalism for independent thinking. Go to economist.com and get your first month free.
All right, guys, welcome to the show. Welcome. Tonight, guys, we're going to talk about the ongoing issue of just what is going on with this drag queen scenario getting played out in America. We're seeing it all over the place, guys. It's going to be a quick episode, really quick episode. I wanted to get on to show the listeners that, you know, I haven't gone off the airwaves, just been doing a lot of different things, getting a rebranding on the show of shows. We're going to have Sauce back on the show soon. We miss Sauce. We need him back on the show. But guys, I want to get into this the story here of the LGBTQ plus now invading. Yeah, guys, they're invading the church group. Like, what's going on with that, huh? Well, got some news coming out of the Wisconsin Chamber of Commerce. Okay, now coming out with a new program that's going to be aimed to ease the job search for these people, right? Even a tight job market, finding the right job at the right company can be difficult. For members of the community, right? They're saying that the job search is only made more difficult by trying to find a company with a welcoming and inclusive culture where they can bring their authentic self to work. Now, this is said by Jason Ray, which is the president and chief executive officer of the Chamber of Commerce, which pointed to research from the Human Rights Campaign in 2018 that found 46% of these workers in the U.S. are closeted at work. He said in a reality that it shows up to the Chamber's mentorship program for colleges students when they seem to turn their mentor and say, I assume when I enter the work world, I have to go back in the closet. Now, folks, are they really saying this? Is the jobs really talking like this? No, they're not really talking like this because it's all being done for attention, guys. More on this. Be right back after these words, guys. Don't touch the dial.
Savaged, unfiltered.
All right, guys, we're back here on the show. Now, it may not solve all the problems for people here, especially this new Chamber of Commerce now affected the state of Wisconsin. Uh, but here's my viewpoint on it. Tackling everything with soft skills, digital professionalism, and searching for a job. What does this do, folks? What the hell does this do? What it does different, and this is coming from the Chamber of Commerce director, okay? The director there, Jason Ray, which is also the president and chief executive officer of the LGBT Chamber of Commerce there out in Wisconsin, saying what it does different than any other programs is it keeps the target audience in mind. Oh, okay. Now, this is coming from a person that apparently thinks it's okay to allow these type of people into churches. Yeah, they think it's okay. I think it's okay. Do you think it's okay? I think it's disgusting. I think it's disgusting. I think it's grotesque, and I think it puts a new meaning on why some people don't agree with this. Why they don't agree with it? Well, why don't they agree with it? That's opinion for another show. Could be a topic for another show. But folks, here is my viewpoint on this. Okay, as I'm talking about this, folks, which is, it draws a lot of attention here, a lot of attention. We're talking about a topic here that's been discussed on social media, which has been discussed on many podcast shows throughout this country on if it is okay to allow these group of people to practice their viewpoints in churches, schools, workplaces. What happens if somebody doesn't want to accept that viewpoint? Then what does it become? Well, it becomes a hate crime, right? It becomes savaged. Hence the name Savaged Unfiltered. One of the reasons why we decided to change the show format, because our show has gone to that savaged, unfiltered format. It was nice riding the Patriot Angle podcast on this show for well over 2.5 years, folks. But here's the thing. When the initial course of this thing, this agenda, focuses on job equality, thinking that they have to hire so many transgender LGBT plus, it changes the entire narrative. It does, folks. It really does. So how do we allow the scenario to get played out into public on a more safer scale? Well, I want to get into something here on the show that I think deserves a little bit of an engagement here on the show. It does. It deserves it deserves an engagement. It deserves a lot. You know, I want to get into a new story coming out of, where the hell is this at? I gotta pull up the story, guys. You know, where the actual LGBTQ plus is now invading churches, which I thought about labeling the show the LGBTQ plus invading churches all over America. And they're invading churches in Wisconsin. They're invading churches in Florida. Yeah, they're all over the place. All over the place. I was actually reading an article that just came out. It's a little late than never, right? But I'll put it up here from the Green Bay Press Gazette, right? Green Bay, Wisconsin. Okay, that they labeled it open and affirming that churches in Green Bay support LGBTQ plus Christians. That Christianity is woke. It accepts that type. Well, spirituality, folks, and sexuality often clash. They do. And these Green Bay churches made the effort to be designated LGBTQ plus friendly. Can you believe that? Can you? Next time you go into a church and you see that happening right in front of your eyes, just think that it's acceptable in their eyes. Acceptable? Well, there are 5 churches and a Christian radio station sued a Wisconsin city claiming its recently passed non-discrimination ordinance protecting all this. They sued them, folks. Sued them. And then what happened next? The LGBTQ plus Christians in Wisconsin looked for a faith home. They looked for a faith home. Folks, you know, I'm going to be one to say here on the show, I'm not a fan of going to church on Sundays or Wednesdays. I'm not. I'm spiritual, but I don't believe in practice religion. But what I do think is it's wrong that they're allowing this in churches. The reason why I say it's wrong is because they're allowing it when others don't support it. The other Christians in America, they don't support this, folks. They don't support it one damn bit. So how is this lawsuit going to come into play? Well, it's going to affect faith. It's going to affect a lot of money, and a lot of people are going to get upset from the outcomes of it. Maybe, just maybe, God would intervene and make everything correct. I hope so. I pray, because when it doesn't work, folks, the decision is going to come out as the gay and transgender communities are going to be allowed to preach their sexuality in churches. Can you believe that? That's coming to America, folks. That is what's coming to America. The type of this garbage that is being injected into this country. Injected. Terrible.
Name is Britta Filter, and she is the Queen of New York. Yeah.
loving creator, Holy One, and Diva of the world.
So, folks, I'm gonna end it here. Like I said, it was probably the most shortest podcast episode I've ever done. But I wanted to get on here, folks. I wanted to get on the airwaves. I wanted to address this because this issue, it is an issue, folks, because it's dividing our culture, it's dividing our society, and it's dividing the ultimate path for what this country needs to go to: glory and presence. Prevence. Did I say that correctly? To preserve. There we go. I was looking for the words, guys. We need to preserve this country. We need to preserve its glory. We need to make this country wholesome again. Because what we're seeing, folks, is destruction upon destruction. Chaos, if you ask me. Pure chaos, folks. Destruction among destruction. And it needs to end. Folks, I want to thank anybody who tuned into this episode. If you like this episode, you want to hear more, please hit that follow. Please hit that like button. Okay? It means a lot, guys. We put a lot of work into these episodes. A lot of research goes into these episodes, whether myself, Sauce, or Jimmy the Rant are on the show. Which, by the way, guys, we will have Jimmy back on the show next week. We're going to have a special guest, a man running for senator of Wisconsin, Robert Ralph, joining the show next week, next Tuesday, I believe. Yeah, next Tuesday, with myself and Jimmy the Rant. So you're going to want to check that episode out. It's going to be a damn good episode. We're going to get into some good stuff, good politics, good everything. And then also, too, we're going to have Sauce back on the show. It's been a hot minute since we've had Sauce on the show. So we're going to have Sauce back on the show, and we are going to bring more content into the show, guys. We're going to bring more content into the show. Before I close it out, I want to give my friends a good thank you and hat tip to Live Rishi. That's right, guys, liverishi.com. What are they? They are a CBD oil company. They provide natural, organic hemp oil. You can head over there right now and get the 20% discount. That's right, guys. If you use the promo code Savaged Unfiltered, guys, you're going to get 20% off your order. That promo code will be expiring soon. So if you go on there and it doesn't work, I'm sorry, guys, you went there a little too late. But hopefully we will have another promo code up for that. It's an amazing company. We use them here on the show, liverishi.com. I can't say more than enough about the company. Damn good company. Head over to liverishi.com. They've been supporting the show for the last couple of months. So hat tip to Live Rishi. Thank you very much. Guys, I'm going to get going. I'm going to let you get going. And I'm going to see you next time. All right, guys. Thanks a lot.